Yeah, today is June 1st. I can't believe it's June already. That's just crazy. The speckled Sussex always gets super loud when they see me coming. Just about to start chores. I'm actually surprised to see one of the Cornish Cross up top there. Usually they're not very good at getting up and around. So anyways, I can get all these chickens moved. And it's kind of rainy all day, so I probably won't do too much outside, but at least everything's getting watered real nice. This chicken is getting around fine on its own, so I'm just letting it do its thing. It's raining out, so it doesn't want to go outside. I don't blame it. So it's just hanging out in here with me for a little while. I'm gonna wait until this little cloud passes, and then I'll finish up chores. Howdy out, today is June 2nd. Let's check on the bees. I'm not going to get into this little split I did a couple weeks ago because the queens should be hatching today. So I don't want to disturb anything. They're going to do what they're going to do in there for a while. But I do want to go ahead and look in these two larger ones. I want to see how the honey's doing in the large one and see if these guys are ready for a honey super. This is that first honey super I put on the big hive here. It's looking really good in there, but you can still see just a little bit isn't capped. And these outside frames they're still working on. So it doesn't look like we're going to have honey for the first farmer's market. But the bees are working on it, so we're getting closer every week. This Sussex hen for the past, I don't know, several days just had a super large crop. And it's not going down. Kind of, well, this is moving. But you can kind of see it just hanging down there. She's acting fine, eating fine, doing everything like normal. But that's just really big. So I'm going to give her a little bit of grit and oil and see if she likes that for a little bit, and then put her back. There's not too much you can do. As long as she's acting fine and not getting beat up, I don't care too much. Whitetail's real happy. So we'll let her chill out, see if she eats any of that. And then we'll let her go about life. She is not the least bit interested in her grits and oil, so I'm just gonna put her back and she's just gonna live her life. Alright, she's back with her friends now. Sometimes it's just a weak muscle and the food just kind of bulges. Eating too much too quick. I mean, there's a few causes of it, but as long as she's acting fine and not getting picked on, there's not a lot I can do. So I'm just going to let her hang out. Let's see if this beehive is doing any better this week. I am still not impressed with that hive. They're really only covering 2, maybe 3 frames out of those 4. I'm still seeing eggs, larvae, and everything. It's just very tiny. I didn't see the queen. I did look for her. I'm still seeing a couple double eggs in there every now and then, but for the most part, things look okay. They have tons of room in there, so that queen could be laying a bunch. There is some bee bread in there, or pollen, basically, but there's not a ton of nectar. So I think maybe they're just going through it too much. Maybe they don't have enough food. I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and clean out this feeder here and pop on some sugar water for a week. See if they're interested in it and see if that helps them at all. I've got it all cleaned up and mixed up. I just put 1 mason jar full of water, 1 mason jar full of sugar water. Stirred it all up. It's cooled off now. So I'm going to pop it on the hive and we'll check it in a couple of days and see what the bees did with it. I do want to make a little stand today for the cones. I have 3. I ordered 2 of these. They're a little big, I think. It's probably better for smaller turkey or duck. We're going to try it. I also have the one that I made out of a 5-gallon bucket. So I'm going to put those across there and just make a little stand to make life easier. Alright, so there it is. I got the 2 large ones plus the homemade one. It's about, I think it was 1.25 inch difference. This was 4.5, so it's pretty wide. And then this one's pretty skinny. This was kind of tough when I did all the roosters. It was too small. So we'll see if this works any better. It might be too big, but anyways, I'm glad to have one more thing done. I've got 5 more days before I actually need to get rid of the birds. All right, y'all, back on the plucker. I got all the sides done, but I have yet to take this bottom plate off. And there are some bolts on here, but they just keep spinning, so I got to get a hold of the backside. I've never taken this whole thing apart yet, so today's gonna be the day. All right, got that out. I feel like there's something that should be greased under here, but I wasn't seeing anything. I'll look a little closer. It's really starting to rust out. Seeing how rusty this is, I am going to give it a quick shot of spray paint just to help stop that rust. Howdy y'all, today is June 3rd. I was 6 short on this plucker. It doesn't look like you can buy just singles, so this plucker took 106, so that was quite a bit. So I'll probably just have to go without a few fingers on there. This one was also missing that bolt, so we'll get everything hooked back up today and we'll be good for Thursday. Just finished up a new farmers market meeting, so all is good there. I'm excited for that one to start. It's on Thursdays, so that's not this Thursday, but next Thursday. I do have the first farmers market of the year starting back up this Saturday, which I'm really looking forward to getting back into that. Right now we're starting to get in that nice, cool evening time where the sun's not as intense, so I'm gonna do some gardening. I want to plant some more, well, just plant some zucchini. I haven't done anything in this bed yet, so probably do that. I do have a few cucumber coming up, not a bunch, but I'm not gonna replant those quite yet. So anyways, it's just beautiful out, so gonna get a little bit more done today. These chickens will be 8 weeks old on Thursday, so that's gonna be chicken slaughter day. I'm not really looking forward to that day because it's definitely not one of my favorite things to do, but it will be nice to have some chicken because there's no better chicken than pasture-raised organic chicken. It tastes so good. So anyways, these guys have a few more days, but they look great. Did also get this freezer moved back today, plugged in, making sure it's all working. It's nice and cold in here, so we should be good. And I'm completely out of chicken food, so I need to run to the feed mill tomorrow to stock up. Howdy y'all, today is June 5th. Just finished checking on the swarm I caught last month. The second frame I pulled out had the queen on it. Everything in there is looking great. I have one angry bee buzzing around me right now. But they're not quite ready for a honey super, but really close. The seeds I started are looking nice. We've got, I think it was 37 cosmos coming up, about 16 catnips, and 35 Brussels sprouts. Now that I'm in the middle of doing chores, I realized I forgot chick food when I was at the feed barn because I was completely out of that as well. So they got what the meat birds have for now to hold them over, and then I'll grab them some tomorrow. This little rooster right here is really friendly. It's not scared of anything. All the others usually kind of huddle up though. Did run to the hardware store earlier today and have plans to make a little rack. So while it's raining right now, it's a quick little pop-up. It should be over fairly soon, but I might as well work on that. Here's the finished product. It took maybe 10 minutes to put together. Just made a couple cuts, popped the pieces together, called it a day. So what I plan to use this for is when I'm bagging the chickens, they're gonna be in ice cold water, ice. It's gonna be a mix, and it's gonna be kind of melty, so the chickens will have, you know, just water on them. So I'm gonna pop them on here, and while I'm getting the bags ready, they can kind of drip dry a little bit. So that's what this is for. Pretty handy. Sucking it up, getting a little wet. The rain's about over, but it's just kind of misting right now. Following me out, Whitetail? It's your last day. I feel kind of bad still. I feel kind of bad about all of them, but chicken is tasty, so I'm gonna go ahead and get chores done. Howdy up, today is June 6th. It's just about 8 o'clock right now. Ran to the store, grabbed some ice, some snacks, some flour, because I'll be making a bunch of bread tomorrow for the farmer's market this weekend. Grabbed the ice because it is D-Day for the Cornish Cross. They hit 8 weeks old today. They're actually 8 weeks in a couple days, because they're about a day or two old by the time they hit the farm. But their time started when they hit the farm, so definitely not my favorite day on the farm, but got to get her done. So I'm probably not going to do too much recording on the whole process, just because I don't want phone germs on the chicken and I don't want chicken germs on the phone. Also, I don't like putting animals down. And I don't think many people would want to watch that either. So if there's an overwhelming response and people just want to see how I do it personally, then okay, I might, for the next chicken slaughter, throw a clip up of that. But I'll still show some of it, but just not the killing part. I'm gonna try and start at about 9 o'clock, so give me an hour to set things up, get things ready. So anyways, head to the farm right now, and then we'll get to it. That Cornish Cross with the bad leg can get around just fine now, and she took off under the trailer on me. So actually she's kind of walking out, I might get her. But I'm putting this cage together on the wagon so that way I can run out and get the chickens. So I might go ahead and throw her out if she comes out. I think that'll be easier for me too. Got the cones all set up now. I just tied a little piece of wire to the T-post on the back to hold it up. Next thing we need to set up is the scalder. So this is actually just a turkey fryer kit that I bought, when was that, a couple years ago, and it works well for small scale, but the scalder is definitely the pinch point as far as my equipment. So one of these days I may upgrade, but for now this works fine. All right, we've got it filled and it is on now. So this needs to be at least 150 preferably. So it's gonna take a little bit of time. All right, we're at the 9 o'clock mark. I'm still setting up. That water hasn't really started getting warm enough yet, so I still got a little bit more to do setup wise, and the shade's not completely over there yet, so that's not too big a deal. Plucker's good. The water temp's just about to 150. Got this table cleaned off. Still got a few more things to do though. It is a smidge over 150, so we're good. So I'm gonna start grabbing chickens. I've offed the first 3 birds. I'm about to scald, pluck, eviscerate. That's about 9:45 when I started, so I want to time this and see how long it takes. Well, y'all, I am over halfway, which is a good feeling, but did just hit a bit of a snag. So my neighbor's doing some electrical work, and the power company had to come and kill the power. But when they killed his power, the guy didn't even see my hookup, so he also killed my power. So I can't run the plucker, and I'm gonna be out of water here soon because that's also electric. So anyways, I do have a generator I can hook up, worst case, but looks like it'll be about an hour. So I guess we'll just take a lunch break. I'm a little worried because you can see I'm running out of shade now. So I'll probably be in direct sun here a little while, which won't be fun. So I was trying to hurry and get it done, but it is what it is. Also, when I was carrying some chickens back and forth to the barn, Whitetail came up and attacked me. So I was actually really glad he did because he'd been great all week. So he attacked me, I grabbed him, I offed him, so he is no more. Alright y'all, all the chickens have been processed. It is a great feeling to have done. I did 32 because of blacktail and whitetail. So that took a total of 7.5 hours. There was the little snafu with the power. It came on pretty quick. And then I had people popping in and out. Had some friends stop by, so that was cool. It's a bad day to see the farm, but at least they got to see the process. Overall, happy with how everything went. It was all smooth and easy. So I'm gonna do chores while all the chickens are in an ice bath, and then we'll bag them here in a little while. All right, now I've got to catch this one tiny little surprise chick that they threw in. She's 2 months old, but just about the same size as all my other chicks from the school project. This chicken is still so tiny that I can hold her in one hand comfortably. And the chickens are all done. Super happy to have the other Cornish Cross out of the barn. Whew, that was a lot of chicken stuff today. Now I just got to clean everything up and then start bagging chickens. All right, y'all, everything has been cleaned and scrubbed down. So now we're moving into the final part where we're gonna bag the birds. Unfortunately, I forgot to bring the cord for the scale. And seeing as I haven't used it before, I can't even use the battery because it hasn't been charged. So we'll have to weigh them tomorrow. I have to wait for this to get up to 190. I have shrink wrap bags for the chickens. So dip it in there, close everything up. Over here, we have the dry rack I made, hosed it all off. What I'm gonna do is pop the chickens on here, let them dry. I'm going to double check and make sure I got all the feathers, sometimes pin feathers, or just some of the tougher feathers are hanging on there. Just do a final look over of the birds and then pop the bag on, dip them, and put them in the freezer. Well, yeah, it's about 11:15 right now, and all the chickens are in the freezer, so that's a great feeling. Just double checking that I have that net turned on because there's a lot of things around here that yotes or coons would like. So everything's good, pretty much picked up at this point. So I'm gonna call it a day. Howdy, yeah. Today is June 7th. It's the eve of the first farmer's market of the year, so I'm super excited. I haven't done any recording today, although I've been running nonstop since sunup. So basically just getting things ready. I feel pretty good about where everything's at. I didn't get around to weighing all the chickens last night, so I am finally gonna do that today. We'll see where we're sitting at there, but I'm super excited for the farmer's market tomorrow. In case y'all were curious, the numbers came in. The very top left, those two numbers, those are whitetail and blacktail, so I didn't figure them into it. So these are all the individuals, and then this is just kind of the total here. So smallest 3.5, largest about 5.5. So yeah, that's a lot of chicken.